I would like to call this meeting to order. The lake level control structure on October 9th at 8:38.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Ostergren.
Here.
Spencer.
Here.
Here.
Russo.
Here.
Wolfson.
Here.
Approval of the agenda.
Madam Chair. Second.
Discussion. Our delegated authority, just so everybody knows at this point, has COVID, so he is not going to be available today, just so everyone is aware. Roll call.
Russo.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Ostergren.
Yes.
Wolfson.
Yes.
Milburn.
Okay, public comment. Is there any public comment?
Yes, I'm Dave Shinneman. I live on Houghton Lake.
Mhm.
I missed last meeting and I see that we had a lake level petition submitted and stuff, and I just want to be here in support of it. Everybody I've talked to all summer long, I've been on the lake for about 10 years at Houghton Lake. Everybody's been used to a certain level on that lake. And now it's so low, people are pushing their boats out and stuff. And everybody I've talked to, I've tried to get a consensus and stuff. And everybody says they want the water higher. I know they probably don't want to flood other people out, because I've heard other people here at these meetings saying about being flooded and stuff. But I do believe that our lake level has to be higher. And I just want to be here in support of any raising of the level. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Houghton Lake, delegated authority update. As I said, Chase is not here. I know that Houghton Lake was submitted for bonding and they're waiting for some additional information. That's the only update that I am aware of at this time. Anybody else has anything they're aware of? Okay. Lake St. Helen. I'm going to let Commissioner Wolfson, I know, may know a little bit more on Lake St. Helen than myself.
Prepayment period is done for the assessment on St. Helen, and bonding has been applied for and sent to the state of Michigan. I think it was kicked back and some corrections needed to be made on the form. So we're proceeding with that.
Any comments or questions?
Yes, Rex, you said the form was kicked back for some additional whatever. I guess I don't understand that. When these permits are submitted, don't we kind of like work with Eagle rather than have to go back and forth and back and forth? I mean, it seems kind of ridiculous to eliminate a lot of red tape and
This was for bonding.
This is for bonding.
Bond council had to clear it with the bond.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The state of Michigan.
I thought it was for the lake level petition. Okay.
Any other comments? Questions? Higgins Lake, delegated authority update. So the permit has been denied by Eagle for Higgins Lake. It's come back and they denied it. They originally had approved some stuff from the former delegated authority, which was presented. When they kicked the first one back, they wanted some additional information. At that time, our delegated authority, Shepke Consulting, got through that, submitted them the information, and then they sent back the denial stating that a professional engineer must basically approve everything. So what they originally were okaying, now they're denying it all. So,
That came down from dam safety, that part.
I'm gonna hand these down. Came down from.
Denial came down from dam safety.
That's yours, Rex. That is everything that,
These all the same?
yep, they're all the same. It's all the information that Chase handed over regarding Higgins Lake. In regards to the permit, the photos, anything that he had taken out, that is what's been supplied to me. Therefore, we all now have exactly all the same information. I'd like everybody to look through it, and in our meeting on October 23rd in the work session, I think we should be having a discussion on what's in the packet and what we would like to see moving forward.
Can I make some comments?
Sure.
Yeah, since they have refused to do everything, we as a commission, of course, are obligated to get this lake level where it should be. And I think we need to hire somebody. We obviously are not qualified, as Chase was, to get these pushed through. And what I would suggest, instead of having a lot of items submitted on one permit, that we have one item on one permit, another item on another permit. So when it comes back, it's a typical stalling technique of Eagle to do this. They say, hey, we can do this one thing, we can't do the other. In other words, if it would have been done that way, if Chase would have done it that way, the things that he originally applied for that they agreed to, those would be able to be done, and the levels would be a little bit better now. Maybe not much, I don't know. I don't know how much difference it would have made. But right now, rocks have been illegally removed by this commission back in 2014. There's a lot of problems with the dam, according to what Chase emailed all of us yesterday. I think we need to come up with a plan. We can't do it. It has to be done. We're gonna have to hire a professional engineer or someone that can deal with Eagle to get this done. We can look over it all we want and discuss it in the next meeting, but I think those are the ways we have to start looking at. We are obligated as a commission to maintain that lake level. So we need to figure out a different way to do it. We can't do it. We need to find a professional engineering staff to do it. Thank you.
Any other comments? Questions? Commissioner Wolfson, do you have any updates on Hi-Fi and the USGS for Higgins Lake?
Just that, we're cost sharing, keeping USGS.
I'm sorry, Rex, I can't hear you.
We're cost sharing with the Higgins Lake Foundation on keeping the USGS gauge for another year. And Hi-Fi is online, so
What's the status of Hi-Fi right now?
you can see it on our website.
And is that two locations?
No, that's just one location at this point, the one at the dam. Because we don't know still how to utilize the averaging or whatever.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We have to gather that information and see how it.
Right, I understood from Chase when he talked about it quite a while ago, it wouldn't be any issue at all to do the averaging. Are we doing that on Houghton Lake yet?
Do we
They
have
have
more
two
than
gauges on
one?
Houghton also, right?
Oh, we only had one.
I understood
No,
that.
we have two. But if we are, Chase is doing that average. He is in control of it.
When is that gonna start being reported on his site?
Well, I think what the reason they're in there more than one is so we can, traditionally we use one to set the lake level. We want to know what's happening over here.
Oh, I know the reason. The reason is very logical, is so it averages from one lake to the
Until we
other. So when the
get
wind's
data.
blowing, it
Yeah,
doesn't-
until we get
doesn't
data,
start.
we don't know really what it means.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So like on Houghton Lake, we have two, but we're not utilizing the averages right now for
Correct.
lake level. And on Higgins Lake,
Not for managing the lake.
right, and on Higgins Lake, we have 2 also, correct?
3.
3 on Higgins, and we're not utilizing the averaging yet. When do we
Not
anticipate
averaging.
being able to do that, Rex?
What's that?
When do we anticipate on being able to do that
Well,
averaging?
We don't have a delegated authority. We're at, you know,
That's why I'm asking you. You're the delegated authority.
No, we all are.
When do we anticipate on having that done with high five?
I don't anticipate it anytime soon.
What are our plans on getting a delegated authority? We're gonna wait until the drain commissioner is sworn in and have that turned over to the drain commissioner? What are the plans there?
We haven't discussed that as a board.
Shouldn't we be discussing that? I mean, I think it's a critical issue. We got 3 lakes in Roscommon and then what's going on?
Well.
Well, we have a delegated authority on 2 of them.
We have delegated authority on 3 of them.
2 of them.
3 of them. We're
Well,
the
3 of them.
The 3rd one.
Yeah.
I'm putting everybody on the spot. What are we gonna do about it?
We don't know, Eric.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Well, let's put it on an
We'll just find out
agenda.
something.
Right now, we have no funding mechanism to pay anybody on Higgins Lake. It's held up in the Court of Appeals. Therefore,
Doesn't matter. You were still obligated.
I'm not saying we're not,
There's a funding mechanism.
I'm not saying we're not obligated.
It doesn't matter if we have a funding
But
mechanism.
how do you propose we pay somebody? How do you propose that?
We have to do it. Doesn't matter.
Where?
We have to do it.
With what money?
You
Madam
take
Chair.
it out of the tax fund. We didn't taking everything else out of the tax fund.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
why don't we put this on the agenda for the next meeting?
Yep, I agree.
Sure, that's fine.
Unfinished business, the Houghton Lake level petitions. In our last meeting, we were presented with petitions for Houghton Lake. After speaking with the attorney, we'll need to pass a motion stating that we have accepted these petitions. Once that is done, we can start to figure out how we will move forward with the petitions. The board's required to act. What that looks like, I don't know. We will need to get a legal opinion. And from my understanding, we are not able to go right to the Attorney General. We must first go to the prosecutor if we want and obtain his opinion on how the statute reads. At some point, the petitioners will have to present the board with a check for $10,000. And again, we will look at a legal opinion and how that $10,000 must be used. And I believe it has to be used for a study. Discussion.
Yes. Where did you come up with the fact that we had to go through a prosecuting attorney before we went to the Attorney General?
Talking with the attorney and Matt for one, and Stacy, his son. The board itself, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Jody was there on part of that. But there is a procedure to where we as a board just can't go ask for her opinion.
Well, the reason I ask that is this has never been done in the state as far as I know of. So who made up the rules for doing it? And that's something that I want to make some comments on here in a second. Who makes up the rules? How is it done? And we're getting an opinion from Stacy Hissong, from what I understand. You just told me, and Matt Zalewski. So I don't know why we couldn't go straight to the Attorney General. I mean, it's an opinion.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
my opinion is the Attorney General's office only gonna comment on the statute. They are not gonna give us guidance on how to proceed. And we need guidance on how to proceed.
As long as we cover our tails, that's all I'm concerned about.
That's the important factor, is that we proceed properly. And that's-
I'd like to go to the prosecutor.
Basically, he'll do the same thing. He'll look at the statute, but he won't give us an opinion on how we must
And then we
proceed.
could-
And that's where the attorney comes in.
Yep.
The attorney, which attorney?
There is.
No. That we were all in agreement before we go to
Oh,
discussion.
yeah.
I'm sorry, we're throwing this word attorney out there. We're gonna go to the prosecuting attorney. He's an attorney, and then you said that's where the attorney comes in. Which attorney?
It's in your packet. There's a motion today to pass, to hire an attorney to help us with this.
Okay. Okay. I have a few, as soon as Mark's on, I have a few comments.
Go to the prosecutor first.
I would agree with that, but I have some additional comments.
Okay.
Thank you. Now that we've received the petitions that require us to start the process of developing a new lake level for Houghton Lake and so forth, there are a lot of things we need to consider. And here's the problem. The statutes say that in order to ask for a lake level change, 2/3 of the lakefront owners need to provide the commission with petitions to do so. Supposedly that has been done. Okay, we don't know yet though, if they're actually. But what is the legal definition of what 2/3 of the lakefront owners actually comprised of? There's no law or attorney general opinion that we can rely on to proceed correctly. It is not our constituents' responsibility to guess who a lakefront owner is and who is not. Additionally, you can't know what 2/3 of a total number of lakefront owners is until if you don't know the total number of eligible lakefront owners. Every petition needs to be validated, and this is an untested area of law, and we need to protect the county in that regards. And that begs the question, what comprises 2/3 of lakefront owners? The issue was brought before this commission years ago regarding Higgins Lake, when the commission passed the resolution stating they would not do anything regarding the maintenance of the LLCS until the commission was petitioned by 2/3 of the lakefront owners. The commissioners never sought an answer to the question as to what comprises 2/3. We need to know who all the eligible lakefront owners are, and we also need to know what the universe of 2/3 is. According to our controller, we do not have such a list at this time. 2/3 of the lakefront owners sounds simple, but it isn't. Here's the question. Is 2/3 of the lakefront requirement based on the amount of lake frontage? In other words, 2/3 of the linear feet owned, or is it based on the number of people who own lakefront property? In other words, is it one vote per piece of lakefront property or something else? For example, if one lakefront owner owns 100 feet of lakefront and 10 lakefront owners in an association own 50 feet of lakefront, does the person who owns 100 feet get one vote and the 10 people who own 50 feet all additionally get one vote? Or is the person who owns 100 feet of lakefront have 2 times the voting power, or is it a combination of both those scenarios? There are even more possibilities. These questions have never been addressed by any legal authority, and there's no case law that I know of that does that. These questions need to be answered. Otherwise, if we are wrong with what the 2/3 amount is, we will be in a very precarious legal position. As you can see, it could be very confusing, and we could be sued by those on Houghton who feel we did it wrong. That being said, who can provide us with the answer? And I'm going to get into, we already got into that. We're going to go to the prosecutor first, and that's fine. But I believe we need to essentially, we need, and I say right here, we need to ask our county prosecutor to request a legal opinion from the attorney general regarding the questions that I've raised. To do otherwise would not be wise on our behalf. I'm glad everybody's leaning in that direction. Getting ahead of ourselves has proven detrimental in the past, and we don't need to do that again. Additionally, how's it $10,000 being handled? I believe we're trying to find out how that's going to be handled also. So we're supposed to have that according to the resolution this board passed back in 2019. In addition, the statutes say the same thing. I think that getting a legal opinion from the attorney general as soon as possible would be the right thing to do. Sooner or later, it's going to need to be done. And I would say that we have already acted on these petitions. So I don't think that that's an issue that we have to deal with on, hey, when did we act on it? We're acting on it right now. So I believe that people on Houghton Lake need a fair dealing, and we need to get this resolved for them. It's a very detrimental situation down there. Thank you.
Any other comments or discussion?
Just that the Attorney General's office is not going to give us guidance.
Don't know if they ask.
The Attorney General's office is not there to give us guidance on how to proceed.
How do you know that, Rex? I'm sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. How do you know that? Did you ask them?
They answer questions of law, not questions of fact. So they analyze existing cases and existing rulings, and then provide how that should be interpreted. So I believe what Commissioner Wolfson's referring to, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is they're not going to say, you do this, this, and this. As you pointed out, Commissioner Ostergen, there is no case law for this.
Mhm.
And until there's case law, there's nothing for the Attorney General's office to analyze and provide information on.
I'm sorry, I disagree with that, but that's
Okay.
that's your opinion.
No, it's
That's your
actually
opinion.
directly from what a question of law is, but that's okay.
Well, you don't know until you ask. That's one thing. If we ask, then they can tell us, hey, this isn't a question for us. I mean, I'm in sales. You don't know anything until you ask.
That's fine. We should proceed with that. Other board members want to proceed with that.
Yes, I think we should go to the prosecutor.
To do due diligence
Mhm.
for the people on Houghton Lake.
Yes.
We should proceed with other legal counsel on telling us how to proceed, because going to the Attorney General could take months and months and months. Or
Well,
years.
I'm also concerned about the expense. Okay, if we hire attorneys, there's going to be expense involved. If we just ask our prosecutor to ask the Attorney General isn't going to charge us anything. And we could at least get that going. If you want to do both, well, why not go both ways? Do both
That's what I'm
things
saying.
simultaneously.
That's what he's saying.
Ask the Attorney General and do the other.
Yes,
Okay, there you go. I'm in favor of
that's
that.
what I was saying.
I didn't understand that, Rex.
I mean, because I think you're gonna get, one is gonna rule on on statute, and one is gonna tell you how we're to proceed.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come up with some rules. You know, the legislature gave us a statute. Now, how do you enact the rules? Make it work in the statute, like all these different scenarios that I brought up in my little talk. But no, I think it's great. We need to move ahead with the prosecutor and go from there and see what he has to say.
Motions and resolutions. Whenever our clerk is ready.
Number one, Houghton Lake Lake level petitions presented to the Board of Commissioners on September 25th, 2024.
So moved.
Discussion? Roll call?
Milburn,
Yes.
Ostergren,
Yes.
Censor,
Yes.
Olson, Russo,
Yes.
motion carried.
We do the discussion after the motion's carried or before?
Before.
Okay.
Or roll call. Move to retain Stacy Hissong, attorney with Fahey Schultz Burzik Rhodes PLC for the purpose of counsel and advisement regarding the Houghton Lake Lake level petitions presented to the Board of Commissioners on September 25th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes. I think we should look at getting different attorneys involved. This attorney has put us in a jam on a couple of different issues. I'm going to vote no on this.
Any other discussion?
I would like to say I feel her office is doing a great job with us. I would like to continue using her, and that's priority.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
the reason I would prefer this way is this company has a record of working with special assessment districts. I was involved with them in drain districts. This very matter of what is 2/3 and who is on the deed and who has a right to vote was brought forth during one of those. So they have experience in the answers on these.
And I'm comfortable hiring with the firm and Stacy for the simple fact of we're also going in the other direction and asking our prosecutor and asking him to go towards the Attorney General. And she's directly working with Houghton Lake right now. Any other comments? Roll call?
Ostergren,
No.
Wolfson,
Yes.
Milburn,
Yes.
Russo,
Yes.
Censor,
Yes.
motion carried. Number 3, move to instruct county attorney in case number 19-724774-AW Matthew Zalewski to accept the offers of judgment as received from plaintiffs in case number 19-724711-AW Citizens for Higgins Lake, legal levels, Eric Ostergren, Steve Ricketts, and Thomas Thompson, and to submit offers of judgment to remaining plaintiffs requesting terms as outlined in current received offers.
Move.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Russo,
No.
Censor,
Yes.
Ostergren,
Yes.
Wolfson,
Yes.
Milburn,
Yes.
motion carried.
Public comment. Is there any public comment? Come on up.
Came on automatically. I'm Charlene Cornell from Higgins Lake. I'd like to request if I could get a copy of those papers regarding Higgins Lake, and I'll be glad to pay the processing fee if I'm allowed to. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Yes.
Michelle Stevenson, County Clerk, Parish Township resident. I've sat here for 12 years, or part of 12 years with all of these lake level meetings, and I would just like to see, rather than commissioners constantly just coming with questions and problems, maybe sometimes also offer solutions instead of always pointing out, because it's just dragging out the whole process. And as we all know, we don't really have the money to constantly fund all of this stuff. So we spend a lot of money on our lakes and our lake levels, and there's other needs for this community. So that is all.
Any other public comment? With no further public comment, I move to adjourn this meeting and our next one to start at 9:20. All in favor, say aye. 2024 apportionment report from Jamie Hauserman.
Good morning, honorable members of the Board of Commission. I am Jamie Hauserman, your Equalization Director. In front of you today is the L4402 statement showing taxable valuations and mills apportioned by the County Board of Commissioners for 2024. You'll bear with me, we've got to go through some legalese. MCL 211.37 states in part that at this session held prior to October 31st, the County Board of Commission shall direct their Equalization Director to ascertain and determine the amount of monies to be raised for county purposes, and shall also apportion that amount in the said amount of the state tax and indebtedness of the county to the state among the several townships. We shall also examine all certificates, statements, papers, and records that have been submitted by the county clerk and the Equalization Director, showing that the monies to be raised by the Board of Commissioners, showing that the monies to be raised by several townships are for school, highway, drain, township, and other purposes. The County Board of Commissioners shall direct the monies proposed to be raised for those legal purposes authorized to be spread upon the tax rolls by each of the townships. At this time, I can certify that the statements, certificates, papers, and records that have been submitted by those various townships, villages, and taxing authorities were examined, and that the L4402 represents a compilation of those documents. Further, MCL 211.34D holds that at this annual session in October, that the County Board of Commissioners shall not authorize the levy of a tax unless the governing body of that taxing jurisdiction has certified that requested millage has been reduced, if necessary, to be in compliance with Section 31 of Article 9 of our state constitution, 1963. So at this time, I can also confirm that the certified rates have been adjusted by Headley, MCL 211.34D, MCL 211.34E, and Truth in Assessing MCL 211.34 subset 1, and are also in compliance with Section 31, Article 9 of our state constitution, also in compliance with MCL 211.37. Please know that MCL 211.37 also states in part that the board may refer any and all of the certificates, statements, papers, records, and proceedings to your county prosecuting attorney, who shall investigate and without delay provide your board with a written opinion. MCL 207.12 mandates that the director of your equalization department in each county in our state shall report to the State Tax Commission on Form L4402 the amounts of the ad valorem taxes to be raised in municipalities within our county for state, county, municipal, township, and school purposes. This is to include the aggregate taxable value of the properties in each of the municipalities within our county. These certified rates are subject to MCL 211.36, which allows additional millage rates to be voted up to and including December 3rd of 2024 for schools, and if adopted, up to and including November 5th of 2024 for taxing jurisdictions. So that means that I have verified with our county clerk, Michelle Stevenson, that there are millage proposals on that November 5th election that are requesting collection periods starting in 2024. This means that it is highly likely that what we're doing today will need to be redone immediately following that election. That would make us in compliance with the law that says that we have got to do this prior to October 31, and also in compliance with the law if, in fact, our voters have asked for additional millages. Those millage rates that potentially will be impacted are a Denton Township streetlight proposal, a Nestor Township fire proposal, and our county emergency management proposal. Those are the three among them that are asking for 2024 collections. Do you have any questions for me about the report? Thank you. And so, being that there are no questions, then I would respectfully request that at your next regular meeting in 2 weeks, that you would move to adopt the L4402 statement showing taxable values in mills apportioned by you, the County Board of Commissioners, for 2024, and also authorize me, Jamie Hauserman, your equalization director, to sign the L4402, thereby authorizing and directing the various assessing officers to spread those tax rates against the taxable value for 2024.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice job. This is really complicated, so obviously you've done a really great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Tax stuff is really fun. It's cool. It's a great career.
MERS service credit purchase request. Noel Martin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so anytime, and I say anytime as if this happens often, but it doesn't, but it has happened just a few. But anytime any one of our employees who is in a defined benefit plan requests a purchase of service credit, which essentially means that they'd like to purchase years of service within their retirement plan. Anytime that they'd like to do that, they have to ask the board in order to be able to do so. And so a couple years ago, even just a few years ago, we were not allowing them to do so. However, we started allowing them to do that, but they had to fund that 100%. Whatever the cost of the service credit purchase was had to be 100%. And so I come before you today because we have an employee, Sean Hand, who has requested to purchase 5 years of service credit. And so he has agreed, he signed the application. He has agreed to purchase the entire 5 years for the cost of $107,957. And so he just basically needs your permission to do so. And that I have a motion already typed up to for a approval on the next board meeting if that is something that you are willing to do. Any questions?
Explain that to me a little bit.
Sure.
Okay.
Essentially,
He's gonna pay 100 and how much $1,000?
$107,000 or it's $107,957. But essentially what that would do is instead of say you have 5 years of service credit, you've worked for 5 years, you can purchase 5 more years and it would have 10 years of service versus 5 years of
That
service.
impacts pension later on. Is that what it's for?
Essentially what it will do is, yep, it would allow him to have 5 more years towards his service years. And so he'd be able to retire 5 years faster. Yep.
Holy smokes, we're paying him too much. To come up with $100 and some thousand.
Hey, you know, we all have acorns,
Maybe he inherited
right?
the money or something, whatever.
Right. We all have acorns. So, anyway, this is something that he has to fund 100%, and it does also within the motion that if there were any actuarial experience that was billed back to the county, that would have to be billed back to Mr. Hand as well.
How much does that increase his pension?
It actually decreases his pension by about $7,000.
So then what advantage, what is the advantage to the employee?
There's no points for that.
He'll be able to retire at 50 instead of 55, therefore getting out of law enforcement with his pension and going to a position that is less stressful and less health and mental health affected.
Over the last 14.
And I'd say majority of them, if not all of them, have been law enforcement officers.
Okay.
We have a lot of teachers that do it as well.
It's within our standard.
It does.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never, we do this last year? I don't remember doing this last year. Okay.
Well, it's been a couple of years since anybody has purchased any time.
Not a lot of people.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Yes, it's more costly to purchase yours towards the end of your time than it is in the beginning of your time, for sure.
Is he like in drug enforcement or something?
No.
Had to ask.
No. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number apportionment to or appointment to Roscommon County Airport.
So your permission?
Sure.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to introduce, if you don't know Mark by now, you should. Mark Eitner, he's, first of all, thank you for reappointing him to the airport committee. He served one term so far, one term. Would be his second term. Mark is, he's a pilot owner. He's a airframe and power plant mechanic in training. And he's also the president of our local Experimental Aircraft Association, Chapter 1580. He's also, which he's done a great job with. It's being the president of that organization is challenging, and it's like wrangling cats some days.
Cat herding, yes.
Herding cats, yeah. He's also very active at the Yankee 31 Airport West Branch, and he's a great asset to Ben Evergreen at the West Branch Airport. So I can say that Mark is afflicted with the same disease I have. It's all things aviation. It's a sickness, and we both have it. So with that, I'll let Mark speak if you'd like to.
Good morning, everybody. Just want to say thank you again. Never really been on a lot of airport boards or anything like that in my career. I've retired about 3 years ago. My wife and I moved up here, and it's been a lot of fun, a lot of learning experience, and anything to benefit the airports. A lot of people don't realize what the small airports mean to communities like this. I guess the best thing to say is just look at Florida and North Carolina right now, what they're going through. If it weren't for the small airports, they wouldn't be getting a lot of supplies in there to help those folks out. So huge benefit. Knock wood, we never have to deal with a situation like that, but it's nice to know we've got a good community and a good airport and a wonderful board supporting us. So appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That does conclude the work sessions. We will adjourn until 10 o'clock. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Record, you got.
The Roscommon County Board of Commissioners meeting for October 9th, 2024 at 10 a.m.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Milburn.
Here.
Ostergren. Russo.
Here.
Wolfson. Spencer.
Here. Approval of the agenda. We need to make an addition of the meeting minutes for September 18th, 2024, which our clerk has handed out to all of us, I do believe.
So move with your amendments, Madam Chair.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Ostergren.
Yes.
Wolfson.
Yes.
Milburn.
Yes.
Spencer.
Yes.
Russo.
Yes.
Approval of the consent agenda. We have meeting minutes from September 18th, 2024 and September 25th, 2024 board meeting, as well as the October 2nd special meeting. Class A's in the amount of $598,736.51, and claims and accounts in the amount of $266,266.84. Correspondences, A through I, letters to the board, MSU report, economic development, small business support hub, NEMSCA correspondence, Wexford County Board of Commissioner resolution, and MAC legislative update, monthly department reports from the EDC director, the sheriff's September activity report and revenue report, and our administrator controller report. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second? I'll second. Roll call, please.
Wolfson.
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Ostergren,
Yes.
Milburn,
Yes.
Censor,
Yes.
motion carried.
Clerk Register of Deeds update.
Morning.
Good morning.
So just a few things that I've been up to. In coordination with Emergency Manager Vanessa Varner and Sheriff Stern, we held an election security training on Monday, October 7th here at the county building. It was attended by 9 of the 11 townships and all local law enforcement agencies, and we covered some different scenarios. We reviewed laws and addressed concerns and possible situations that could occur during elections and having a plan in place. I do want to thank Vanessa and Sheriff Stern and Heather Balcom from my office who helped with getting all of this put together. We provided information, some of which I got at the election security tabletop exercise I attended last week. So I think it went well. It went very well. It lasted, I think, about 2 hours, so it was a little bit longer than we thought it was going to be. But you know, I think there were some situations that, you know, we presented items and things that people need to be aware of that I think were a little bit uncomfortable and people weren't aware of, and the importance of having a plan in place for all of these things because you just never know. As I mentioned, I attended the election security tabletop exercise on October 3rd. That was at the Ralph A. McMullen Center with representatives from the FBI, CISA, EAC, Bureau of Elections, and other townships and counties. It was a full day exercise, and they also went over different scenarios and types of things and what would you do and how you can do what you should be doing, and the importance of having continuity plans. So we have available just down the hall there, and there's some at the libraries. It's a 2024 nonpartisan voter guide. It was provided by the League of Women Voters. They've been bringing those to our county. It's the chapter out of Crawford County, so we don't have a Roscommon County chapter. And it's information, it's nonpartisan information on all candidates. It doesn't have any local candidates in it, but it does have for those trustees for school, for the U of M, MSU, Wayne State, all of that stuff, and the federal candidates and state candidates. So those are available for the public. Early voting begins October 26th at the early voting sites throughout our county, and it concludes on November 3rd. I will be conducting election inspector certification training next week here at the county building. The minute scanning project update, minutes from 2023 through July of 2024 are currently available on the website through the search where you can search my documents from my office. So land records, all that fun stuff. The images do come up with a black box on them. They are to be for purchase, but I will be doing a presentation at a future work session, a demonstration on how it all works and everything. And once we've gotten US Imaging is who scanned all of our books. Once they've got everything all set up and cleaned up and ready for import into the program, GovOS will take over and get those put in for us so we can have everything online back to the beginning. That is it.
Thank you. Public comment. Do we have any public comment? Coming up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mine is going to be two-parter, so this is part one. Jerry McGee, 7184 West Emory Road. This is concerning consumers' energy on our thing against the high voltage line. All the property owners have received a good faith offer. I just wanted to let you know this good faith offer is a bunch of junk. According to our attorneys, it was done very quickly and not very appropriate. They consider my front yard vacant land, and also how they did this proposal for the dollar amount of my front yard, aka vacant land, was from acreage, and I mean an acre, 5 acres, back from 2020. That's how they gauged the dollar amount of my little front yard. Furious. Yes, I am very furious. No, we did not sign this contract. We had until September 30th to sign it. My next one is the things that Consumers Energy said at the beginning of 23, the property owners, to the property owners, they needed Emery Road for maintenance of this high voltage line. Several months later, Consumers Energy said this high voltage line needs very little maintenance or no maintenance at all. So why do we need Emery Road? Then they told us that the poles would be wood. Now they're metal. We were told we could do anything to the area no higher than a mailbox. Now we have to have specific or actual permission to do anything in that little area. I also have a well in that area just before the supposed easement. If I should need a new well, I have to have special permission from Consumers to do this if I ever need a new well. Also, there is a movie called The Little Pink House. This is a very true movie. I encourage everyone to watch it. It's a different product, but the scenario of the movie is the same of what is happening here. Small town versus the big corporation. Also, we're with 7 and 4 News again, and I want to pass these out to you. They said their statement, Consumers Energy is committed to good corporation citizenship, particularly in protection of developments like the high voltage distribution protection in Houghton Lake. We have maintained open lines of communication with Roscommon County and Denton Township throughout this process. In the beginning, we asked you about that, and you said you had no communication. So this is the statement that they sent to the news. 7 and 4 News, and this was there were 2 interviews done with 7 and 4 News back in 23, and one just recently.
I'll get that to Michelle for that.
Are you telling me that they lied?
Yes. Well, they do change their story a lot. They're not very consistent with their things. We do have 2 lawyers. One lawyer is going to be very expensive. The other lawyer is willing to get us money for our properties.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Good morning. My name is Jeffrey Max Lavoie. I also live on Emery Road. I'm part of the Emery Road group like Sherry. I'm passing out these are maps that of Consumers Route for the high-tensile line through Houghton Lake area. Okay, this is something we had to actually have a lawyer come. We had to go to a lawyer to actually have Consumers get us this, except giving us a route. Okay, the reason I'm here today is it's hard to get our information out to people, and I know you're filming. I know people are online. I know you guys are all here, and the people that are here, the people that are online, are concerned about our township and our counties. So that's why I'm here, because I know I'm on camera. I know people are watching, and Emery Road wants everybody's help in this county. We need your help, okay? As Sherry pointed out, our lawyers. One of us is paying for, and we gotta give them so much percent of what they make sure that we get fair price for our property. They offered me $4,421 for my property. Basically, I had it on market, I had it appraised, and I'm gonna lose $180,000 on that house if Consumers Power puts this line through. And I'm not just speaking to the board, I'm speaking to everybody. We cannot get anybody to help us. Our state has been bought out. We had people on our side until Consumers Energy donated to their campaign. They turncoat on us and want nothing to do with us. We got TV 4 and 7 to get an interview, which is great. That's why I'm here today, because I know that there's people out there that care about this county, that care about their townships, that will listen. And that's why we're here, is so we can get our word out. I personally think that every township, every county should get together in the state of Michigan and go to whoever who's ever in charge and complain. They took the power away from you. Page 1 is where they're going to put it. They're going to put it there. That's what they're telling us, no matter what. It's got full eminent domain because of our state government. Because they give them. Okay, if you look at the Emory Road, it's going to connect to, if you know, on 18, that substation there, it goes all the way to 55. Then they're going to go around and go across 18, then go on Waco Road. Then they're going to go to Reserve and then turn down Emory. Okay, instead of going straight across Waco, you'll see page 2. They showed Emory. They got showing the Emory Road. Our first meeting, when you guys didn't know anything about it, you guys asked them, how come you're not using Waco? Township said, how come you're not using Waco? Okay, and they were here, and they said, well, we haven't checked into it. Well, they never checked into it. I think they just wrote that out when our lawyer asked for it, just to say, well, we tried it. Okay, if you look at the paper, 2 miles difference in line. 2 miles of power lines, straight through Waco, straight to Old 27. Isn't a straight line better than curving? And on the straight line is private property one side, state land on the other side. You go down here on this substation on 18, get on Google Earth, not Google Map, Google Earth. Follow that substation where that line's going. It's going through all state land. It's going through swamps. It's going through lakes. It goes across 18. Waco Road is a state land. Most of it's state land. Okay? They can't go through swamps. They can't go through that. That's baloney. They're going through from the substation. They're going through all that. They're doing it because our government, our people that we vote in, we think that's working for the people, which we need to wake up, people. They're not working for us. They're working for whoever can give them the most money. All of them are. People that I've trusted, that I've felt is good. But when Consumers Energy comes to them, say, if you vote this in so we can do what we want, we'll change. They change their vote. And I don't think it's right for you guys, all the townships, all the counties, don't make all of these counties. You guys already sent a letter saying we don't want it down the road. You know what? Might as well just do that with it, because that's what they're doing. Hey, you got people on Emory Road. This is not just Emory Road. This is everybody in the state of Michigan are being screwed by big corporates because they're paying off our government. There'll be part 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over there.
Any other public comment? Any visitors? You have no unfinished business listed, no new business listed, motions and resolutions. Michelle, whenever you are ready.
Motion number 1, move to authorize a change in health benefit providers from Priority Health Blue Care Network for union employees to remain as HMO HRA effective January 1, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Jody, this is the plan that we were originally talking about, correct?
Yep, this is the Blue Care Network. This is the HMO HRA.
Yep.
That was, yep, so this will be just for the union employees.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Ostergren,
Yes.
Milburn, Spencer,
Yes.
Wolfson,
Yes.
Russo,
Yes.
motion carried.
Committee reports, Commissioner Ostergren.
I was in Canada fishing, they got a lot of fish.
You sure?
I'll let you bring back that, I'll bring back four.
Commissioner Milburn.
Vote $1,500 to move forward with Michigan, with Michigan of the Great Lakes. And I attended the NMCA conference in Traverse City. Well attended by a lot of folks, and that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay. Commissioner Russo? I attended the agenda meeting Thursday, October 3rd. District health meeting was changed from September 25th until Monday, October 30th. I was not able to attend as I had another obligation, but I will be receiving those minutes at our next meeting. I also met with Joe Jean Thompson Friday, October 4th, regarding programs regarding substance use disorder, and that is where part of our liquor tax dollars go. I look forward to having many more conversations on how we can make good use of those dollars that we spend. I also attended a Denton Township meeting. The supervisor, Bob Spalding, did resign. The board appointed Dave Denbor. Bob Spalding will still be on the ballot. However, there's opportunity yet for write-in candidates. And if Bob does get elected, my understanding is that he can either take that position back or he can resign again, and then the board will have to appoint somebody else. Carol Asher, the clerk, is resigning as of October 31st. The board approved to appoint Teresa Wagner to fill that spot, and the same will go with Carol. She will be on the ballot. Somebody could write in if they wanted to, be a write-in candidate. And if she is elected, then the board will have to do the same process. That is all I have. Commissioner Wolfson.
Update on materials management planning, AKA Tony's Recycling. They've been contacting supervisors to set up meetings to do an inventory of what we have available. And the company's also planning a trip to Traverse City. Apparently they have a recycling center up there, and they want to visit it to see if it's something we can utilize in our plan.
Okay. Board comment, Commissioner Ostergen.
I just want to report on the levels on our lakes. Higgins Lake is, as of 8.88 inches below legal level, 2.88 inches below the maximum winter drawdown, so we're in double violation there. Houghton Lake is 5.04 inches below legal level, and Lake St. Helen is 1.8 inches below legal level. Winter drawdown is supposed to start November 1st. So Houghton and St. Helen are all right, but Higgins is substantially below its maximum winter drawdown.
Commissioner Baldwin.
I did attend District Health. They talked about rabies infestation. Apparently there was a bat we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The next meeting is their annual meeting. It starts at 3:00. I think they want us there at 2:00. We can be so inclined. I think it's the Methodist Church. Get an address for you. I stand in total complete solidarity with the Emery Road Project and Mr. Lavoy. Thank you for being here today, sir. All I have, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Russo. I would like to actually read this. I am one of the trustees on the Michigan County Workers' Compensation Fund. and I received this. The Michigan County's Workers' Compensation Fund Board of Trustees announces the 2024 dividend. $4 million has been approved by the State of Michigan Workers' Compensation Agency to distribute to its members. The $4 million represents the largest dividend recorded by this fund. The dividend represents over $74 million that has been returned to members since the fund creation in 1979. The Board of Trustees are ever committed to the well-being of the fund on behalf of the membership. The board strives with their pledge for excellent member claim administration, emphasis on safety in the workplace, and strong financial stability. So this goes back to Jody, and it is in the amount of $71,900. That is all I have. Commissioner Wilson. Public comment. Come on up.
Part two, Sherry McGee, 7184 Emory. Also, I'd like to mention too, we do have a email address, saveemeryroad at gmail.com. Also, I also want to mention too that Consumers Energy is moving with this fast and furious because of the election. If Trump gets in, Trump is for the gas, the coal, and all that aspect, whereas Harris is for all the electrical end of it. And if Trump gets in, then Consumers Energy is out, and Harris is in, and all the electrical stuff is in. Also, Jeff and I have been working very hard at our little Roscommon County little corner of our street, whatever you want to call it, and we are asking for help. We need more than just our voice. We need more help, more community help. We've knocked on a lot of doors. Maybe we're not knocking on the right doors. We've put ads in the paper. I did ads in the News and Free Press. So whether we're going to understand that Consumers is a large corporation, but this high voltage line makes the hair on your arms stand up, the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Your cell phones don't work. And that's scary. And it's right in my front yard and close to my house. I don't know what else to say about that. It's frightening. It really is frightening. And I do appreciate you listening to this. I just wish there was more that we could do with this. It's scary. It really is scary. And now that they're coming hot and heavy on this, we need to get hot and heavy on letting them know that we don't want this. They know we don't want this. But we need more people behind us. We need more voices behind Jeff and I. Yes, the neighborhood is with us, but we need, if you watch this movie, Little Pink House, you'll see what they did. And we need that. That's what we need. Thank you.
Come on up.
Jeff Remax, Lavoy, Emory Road. Just to continue, Sherry put it out. Okay, Consumers is a big company, a lot of money. They have all kinds of lawyers. That's what our lawyer told us. Okay, in order for us to hire a lawyer, okay, we have to hire a lawyer to take back our property that we pay taxes on. We have people on Emory Road, and this is not just Emory Road. This is this whole state of what's happening. It's not just Roscommon Township. It's over in Coleman, Isabella. These big corporates are coming in because our government took the power away from you guys. We voted you guys in to stop them. You guys tried to. But like I said, you might as well, whatever you guys did, we appreciate it. We wish it would have worked. If they didn't have full eminent domain, you could have stopped this. They've already stopped it over in Coleman until they got full eminent domain. Then they came railroad all over it. Okay? We have people that live, okay, that don't have the money on Emory Road. We have 120 properties. This thing could shoot across Waco. They could actually have it partially in by now. But yet they decide to come down and sue all of us so they can come steal our property. Our property will be useless when this happens. I can't sell my house. I tried. I did that for a reason, to prove a point. My house isn't worth anything. Nobody wants to buy on Emory Road when they found out there's a high tensile line going through. This is high voltage line. This isn't low voltage. This is gonna help the community. I'm all for it. But when you can run down somewhere besides private property, when you have all this state land that they're stripping the trees anyways, they're worried about the environment. Stop killing all the trees for the animals and stuff. This is bull. It's up to us. We're the people. When have we lost our power? We should be able to come to you guys, and you guys go to the next level for us. We came to you. You guys did it. But there's no next level because the people your next level has been bought off by an expensive company. I got a 92-year-old guy that's lived in this area that lives on the corner of Reserve and Emory Road. He lives in this little house. Beautiful trees. If you go by, everybody sees it. If you go by, he's got these beautiful trees that are hundreds and some years old. It's all gone. That house will be totally no trees around it. Absolutely none. Consumer says plant trees to help your electricity. Guess what? He's got to get an air conditioner because he won't be able to keep his house cool. He'll bake in that house. You got people. You got a widow, a lady that's got a kid that's with special needs. She don't have no money to put into a lawyer. You got people on disability. You got people there that are veterans. You got one veteran there that's suffering from Agent Orange. He didn't. And they're coming to take our property. They're not, they say they're for the public. Our people in our Congress and all our government says they're for the people. Bull crap. They're for themselves. They're for lining their own pockets. Whoever's got the most money, we might not be able to win this, but we're going to fight it. We're going to fight it because it's wrong. It's wrong for anybody to take away private property. That flag we pledge allegiance to, people died for that, for our freedom, for our rights. And it's wrong that our government forgets about everything just for money and greed. This country is so screwed up with money and greed. How much money does a person need? I don't need millions. I'm happy where I'm at, but I want to keep what I got, and I shouldn't have to pay for a lawyer to keep it when there's other places. If there is no other way for it to go, I understand. But on Emory Road, I feel for Old 27. There's no place where that is going on Old 27. Them people have no choice. That's where eminent domain comes in. I worked with a city, and they used eminent domain, but they always was considerate of the people, and they compensated them properly for what they were going to lose. I'm just asking everybody out there, here, if you know anybody, you know anything in our government, any poll, any lawyers, anybody that could help us out. You're not just helping Emory Road. You're not just helping out this county. You're helping out the whole state of Michigan. Sorry, I'm ranting and raving, but it's upsetting. Like Sherry says, it's upsetting. You lose sleep over it. You got people sick. You got retired fire people. You got people on pensions. You got people that's owned these properties for years. And they can just come in and say, we're taking it and we're giving you, what a slap in the face, $4,000. Please help us. If you have any, I'm sorry, my time's up, but you have any connections, I wish I could find a lawyer that was a millionaire that would donate his time for us, just to fight for people's rights. If I was smart enough, I was a lawyer, I had lots of money, I wouldn't charge anybody for freedom. I give it to them. Thank you all. Thank you all. Please help us. Write letters to these people.
Any other public comment? With no further public comment, this meeting is adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.